Hey guys, it is an absolute beautiful day down here in southeast Georgia. So I'm going to get on the bike and take my first real ride since my surgery in early October. I did take a short one the other day when I installed my new heel toe shifter, but it was less than a quarter mile down the road. So I'm going to give it a real test today and see how it feels, make sure everything, I don't have any pain or anything like that, because I'm ready to get back on the road. So let's go. Okay, we're going for attempt number 2. The first time I got on and fired up the bike, I had low tire pressure, which doesn't surprise me. It's been sitting in the garage for so many weeks. So let's try this again. Having to mount high side because of the way my incisions are healed. They're still a little stiff down there. My whole stomach's a little stiff, so gotta get on a different way. North Beach. I usually don't park on the side. I park over on the other side in the gravel, but I wanted to save a little bit of sand on my bike today. So I'm going to go, I think I'm going to walk over and see what the water looks like. It looks like it's probably low tide right now, so I'm going to go check it out. And then there's a restaurant here on the beach that we've walked past several hundred times. Every time we come here, we say we should eat there. So I think I might just see what the food's like there today, since I'm here all by myself. My daughter and her family are just on their way down to Florida to hop on a cruise ship for vacation. My wife is out west with some of our grandkids, spending a week with them while their parents are on vacation. So I'm just kind of chilling here by myself, and I think I'll go check out that beach restaurant. Not only is there a beach here, there's a Tybee Island Museum here for the Battery Garland that used to be here. Looks like 1899 with Fort Screven. There are a lot of really historic spots on Tybee Island. There's a couple spots like this that are forts. Fort Pulaski's just down the road. It's a really neat thing to see. But like I said, this is the other side that I come in from normally. You see, we are on the North Beach. So this place is really set up festive for Christmas. I chose to sit inside because the gnats out here on Tybee Island just chew me up, eat me alive. So they got her decorated up for Christmas. Christmas trees, all the seats got little Santa outfits on. They got lights everywhere. You can see the outside dining area there, which I chose to forego because of the gnats. Like I said, the gnats just eat me alive when I'm here. So I'm inside. Alright, so I ordered the double fish, which come with fries and coleslaw, and I am not a big fan of getting tails on my food. I can still eat it, but I'm a big wuss when it comes to food like that. I don't need to see what it was in its previous life before it made its way to my plate. And maybe someone can explain to me the science behind these French fries. I mean, they're awful brown. And I would always thought that if your fries are that dark, maybe your oil's bad. But I mean, it's like they cooked them like this intentionally, so I don't know. Alright, so I have to admit, that is probably the most disgusting order of French fries I've ever had in my life. I even asked the waitress, I said, are these fries normally this brown? She said, no, that's usually when the oil starts getting old and they need to change the oil. And I'm like, well, okay. Fries are a little bit too greasy for me, so the fish, it was okay. I eat a lot of fish and chips around here. It's one of my favorite things to get, and that I probably won't be coming back. I'm not going to leave any bad reviews or anything about the place, but I just, you know, if you bring out the fries and they look like a brown paper sack soaked in grease, then you know there's probably something wrong. And I assumed that maybe that was intentional, because I have been to places where that's intentional, but here evidently it was not, and they were not very good. So oh well, lesson learned. You know, I always like to try new places, and you know, that's how it goes. So anyway, I'm gonna hop back on the bike and I'm gonna cruise around the island for a little bit and see what's going on out here. It is starting to get really cloudy and the weather, or the temperature's coming down. So, and these gnats, man, I'll tell you what, these things never give up. But I had to put on a long sleeve shirt. It's getting cold out here. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little ride. Let's go. So this is the very end of the road here in Tybee. This will bring you, this is the south end of the island. So I guess you'd call it South Beach. This down here, there are some sand dunes that pop up when the water goes down, and if you get caught out there on those sand dunes, it's a pretty hefty fine. But it can fill in so quick. You know, there have been people that have been trapped out there and had to be rescued, and that's what they want to avoid. If you've ever seen the movie The Last Song with Miley Cyrus, right there's where that was filmed. That's the house that was in the movie. And this is the end that when you come out, you'll be looking at Little Tybee, which is a small section of island, which is, you can see just out there you can see it out there with the trees in the middle there. That's called Little Tybee. And you see some sand in between this part of Tybee and Little Tybee. If you get caught out there without a kayak or a raft or a boat of some sort, you're in big trouble, because you can walk out there from this beach. That water is so shallow, you can walk all the way there. When the water gets to the right depth, you know, when the tide is right, you can walk all the way there. But man, if they see you out there, they're on you quick. And just for reference, this sand here lately, there have been some pretty rough seas, and the tides have been coming up and they've washed a ton of sand away. So you can see this big drop right here. I don't know how much you can see on camera, but it goes down a few feet, and you see that concrete wall there. This was not visible the last time I was here. That tells you how much sand is washed away, because literally this was not visible, and the one down there was not visible either. So this sand has dropped tremendously. That's almost crazy to look at, because like I said, it wasn't here. It wasn't even visible. So there was sand piled, that's a good 4 feet high right there. And there was sand on top of that. We couldn't even see it before. Out here has dropped significantly. So I'm glad I had this long sleeve shirt with me. But once I get inland away from the ocean, it'll warm up. It was still 80 back at my house when I looked earlier, and that's been about 40 minutes ago, and I'm less than 30 miles from the beach, so it should warm up once I get out of the coastal area here and get back on that road heading into Savannah. So yeah, I'm going to chill out here for a few more minutes and maybe watch the sunset. Well, I think I'm going to hit the road. My beach time is over. You can see the sunset behind me there. Really nice. Although there is land between us and the sun, it's not like watching it over the ocean, but it is pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna hop on the bike and head back towards the house before it gets too cold. It's still in the high 70s, at my place, and it's like 71 here, so it is cooling down quite a bit. So I'm gonna hit the road and head back.